complete.
Hello everyone, my name is Nico Breen. Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to be continuing with the support ship. This is part 6, and where we're at right now is we started placing a little bit of the assets that we're going to be using in the model. So like the armor repair and the shield repair transfer arrays. Now we're starting to get more into the placement of the energy turrets. I definitely want to emphasize the idea of having like an own separate archive for different models and assets that you like to reuse on your spacecraft, because that is what saved me a lot of time when doing this model. For the support ship, I was definitely going with a more conservative look when I was coming up with it, mainly because it's not a frontline vessel. It's not going to be dishing it out with other capital ships, even though itself is the size of a capital ship. Its goal really is, like the name says, to support the other ships in the fleet. So it's big enough to service, destroyers and frigates, but it's not going to be fighting against, those crazy large ships. So it can defend itself, but I want to definitely give that illusion that it needs other ships in the fleet in order to survive and ultimately provide its services. So with the placements, yeah, you're going to see a lot of that. You're not going to see a lot of variety of turrets and stuff like that, like some of my other models. One design flow tip that I have for you guys is I usually build my spacecraft up with enough detail that I can get an idea of where the ship is going to go, and then I stop, and that's when I start placing my turrets and stuff. And I'm not sure if I've touched on this in other videos, but the reason why I do that is when I do start to place my turrets, I start to get a better idea of what detail needs to be added around there to kind of complete the idea, if you will. And when you don't do that, you have like varying levels of detail sometimes, and when you import like different assets, for instance, that may not be as detailed as you made your spacecraft, then it can kind of make things a little awkward, and it makes things really pop out as if they don't fit. So I'll place my turrets, and then I'll start building detail around them. That's when I'll add, okay, this is where the ship would kind of connect this piece to that piece. Give that illusion that there's an amalgamation of pieces instead of just one big bloking hulk of metal that has turrets and stuff on it. Some of the key tools and tips that I use when creating the detail, if I haven't talked about those in other videos, are the extrude, the pull, push pull. Another tip is selecting a face and pressing control, and then dragging and dropping that tool, or dragging and dropping that surface, so it kind of gives the illusion that the hull or a piece of the hull has been machined. And it, like I said, it's not like it's not like a big hulk, it's an amalgamation of pieces. So you'll see that here, and where I'm making that extra face, I'm offsetting that face, and then I'll select it, and then I'll control, and then I'll bring it down to make that kind of indent feature. It gives the hull a little bit more texture, and makes it look nice, and it makes it pop as well. So those are some of the tips that I use for, at least for this video. In the next one, we're going to be getting into the rear and the aft section, where the engines and a little bit more detail is going to go, and then hopefully that should complete it. I'm not sure if I'm going to separate the 7th video into an 8th. It may just all be one video, but after that, it's just a matter of finishing up that model and moving on to the next one. The next project, I'm going to be a little bit more in depth with the design process, actually show SketchUp to show what keys and what tools and stuff that I'm using, so you guys can have a better idea, and I'll try and walk through as much as I possibly can about where I'm going with the model and how I do the things that I do to make ships look cool. So with that, I'm going to let the music play and finish off this model, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.